Enigmatic, go ahead, mic up, cam up. Let's do this shit. Everybody, put your hands together for today's guest. See if I can get to the right thing. Enigmatic! Oh, there we go. Oh, shit. There it is. There it is.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, baby. All right. Holy shit. All right. Enigmatic, thank you so much for your patience, my friend. That went way
Not
longer
a problem,
than I
man. That's all good.
I was hoping that would go way culp. Always reminds me of Bob Marley, 10-foot ganja plant. Oh yeah, baby, we're doing it. Yeah, I love the melodica too, man. Reggae definitely kills it with the melodica. Who's the guy? Do you like reggae, Enigmatic? Are you a fan of reggae?
Man, like I've listened to some what's his name? Ika Mouse.
Ika
I think
Mouse.
his name is.
Oh yeah, he's a bad motherfucker too, man.
Bong baby bong bong.
Yeah.
Dude, I love those ones, man.
Bitty bang 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 bitty bang. Yeah, I've actually gotten to like fucking I was on a TV program with Ika Mouse, and he was fucking
Shit,
really, he was really cool. He was really cool, dude. I mean, he was high as shit the whole time. He's just huge, and he's like tall and looming. It's like, and it was like in some weird little like studio in Los Angeles. It was I don't even know where it was. It was some weird little studio, and it was like a new cable channel that was specialized in just weed. I don't even think
Dude,
it
that's
exists.
like my kind of channel. Holy shit.
yes, for real. But he was like totally chill. He was totally chill. I mean, as you can imagine, a reggae artist, as someone who smokes weed constantly and just does reggae, super chill Jamaican homie, you know? So, is he Jamaican? Bong bong bitty bong bong bitty bong bang bing bong. Yeah, for sure. It's always it, and there we go. Bitty bong 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 bong. There's this you know, you could probably relate to this, and I'm not trying to shit on you at all, but there's this rapper who does a lot of that, and he's a white dude with dreads, and he's gotten criticized a lot for.
Yo, is that like an English dude or some shit?
No, actually, he's not that well known, and I'm kind of cool with the camp, so I'm not gonna go out there and give out his name right now. So
no, I saw some dude doing it the other day. It was like kind of like a viral-ish video, man. I think that's maybe what you're talking about.
Maybe. No, he wasn't from the UK. Commands are back. No, how'd you do it? Someone put exclamation point go woo, or go canceled, or go Omicron. I'd rather do go Omicron. Oh shit! Mike had the chat bot turned off.
Dude, that's always the pain. Like I said, man, 20,000 tweets and no website. That's the face I had.
Reina, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Of course, my lovely wife and Maud and Robbie's here with the stuff. We're back, bitches. We're back. We're back. And now I'm gonna silence them because we're gonna do an interview. So. Morby, you're just in time for the commands to come back. The commands are back. Oh my gosh, Morbs, thank you so much for that.
You whats up 3 months woo.
Hey, thank you so much. This is for you, Morbs.
Hello, and welcome to We Speak English Good TV. I'm your announcer, Ron Swanson, and now I'm asking you to put your hands together in a clappy noise for your host, Mike E. P.
Hey.
Fanfare. Wonderful.
Cartagena, how the hell are you? Good to see you, my friend. I see you changed your name around a little bit. Thank you for being here, my friend. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. And Morby, thank you so much for that 3-month sub. Much love. Listen, we'll do that later, okay? Not right now. And which one? Which one do you want? I don't even know if it'll work. It's been eating shit. Everything's been eating shit. Listen, we got to talk to this guy over here. What do you do? Listen, we'll do that, but we have to talk to Enigmatic first. So
Holden's a menace.
We're gonna do those, and we'll see if it works. but we're gonna get into Enigmatic. But what I was saying before was like there's this white kid who this white dude who does his acapella. It's gonna be a sad boy summer. Okay. But there's this he got a lot of criticism, and he's in the reggae world, and he is English. I know, not English or UK English, but he is here from the Midwest. Papa Sweet, God damn it! Thank you so much for those 100 biddies. I swear that we're gonna get to this conversation. Well.
Dude, no worries. It's all about the journey.
Hey, man, we're here. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. Oh my God, look at this! Is insane. My alerts are back, and oh my God, I had to live through a hype train. Yeah, sometimes it happens. No, please don't do that. I'm trying to. I really want to talk to Enigmatic. I don't want a hype train. No one wants that. So, what I'm trying to say is he took a lot of shit because he's doing all these, like, he speaks in patois on stage. Like, he has that accent. He does all the things. Stop it. You stop that shit right now. And he's taking a lot of criticism for that. Is that something that you've had to take criticism for? I mean, in that same realm, hip hop and white kids coming up. Yeah. I mean, it's not just it's not purely an African American format anymore, genre anymore. I mean, yes, it came from the streets, and it came from gangs and all that stuff.
All the best guys that started up were. Yeah, exactly.
And so like, is that something that you've taken criticism for? I mean, you guys are Canadian. I mean, I heard that you guys didn't even get hip hop until like 1998 or some shit, or 2000s.
Yeah, it's definitely something, because like the amount of Canadian artists that people know, like it's Drake. Mm-hmm. People kind of stop right there. They're like, okay, yeah, we know Drake, we know Canada, man. There's so many rappers that we got up here. It's absolutely unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, man, to at least be able to look up to some other white dudes that were rapping for like a crazy long time, it made it easier, because dude, we are in no way, shape, or form like any kind of a hip-hop capital. Like, we got so many retired hockey players from this city, dude. We are known for that. Like that's the thing in Canada, man. We ain't got hip hop unless you're on the east, you're in the west. You're living in Toronto, those core cities. Yeah. Outside of that, man, you just got retired hockey jerseys in all your local arenas, and that's what you're proud of.
We just love hockey, eh?
Dude, that's all we love is hockey, eh?
Hockey, eh? That's what it's called. No, well, yeah. So, like. I don't care about that shit. Obviously, that's not really what I'm focused on when I'm listening to artists and stuff. So, like, I mean, how have you handled that criticism? If you guys have received that, especially, I mean, you have a label, you have a ton of people on your label, a ton of different artists and different myriads of different, forms of expressions. If you have taken criticism, how have you handled that?
Man, because I think some of my favorite people, like artists just within hip hop, they happen to be white people, man. Like, it's not like I went out hunting for, like I got to find something to really prove myself within this genre. But like the guys that I could list off the top of my head that, there's obviously, Viral the Virus, he's not white, dude. Yeah. There's a lot of them that won't be. But like Slain, Ari the Rugged Man, Necro, Ill Bill, Snow Goons, like, dude, there's so many of them across the board. And then, backtrack to Canada, Snack the Ripper, Mercules, you got Classified on the East Coast. There was so much to look up to where, I'm coming into this, where that white guy rapper thing has been around for so long, right, that I think these guys took the brunt force of, that trauma. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to get some of that flack, but I've already seen so many guys, go through it and prevail, that I think all I got to do is keep my head down. Of course, some days, man, it gets to you. You just sit there and you're like, fuck, man, I'm a white rapper. Like, I can't do this.
I can't do
and then
this.
other days you're like, yeah, man, I really enjoy everything that I do about this. And, if I'm not going to continue rapping, then it would be about something else within hip hop. Everything's hip hop, man. I'd be rapping on my own time, like on the side, not releasing stuff. Like, just all of it, man. I really, really enjoy this genre. There's a fucking radio station with 10,000 songs on it. Yeah. I've done my deep dives.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I think that's, like, that's the thing. Like, you could tell that, you respect the genre, and you respect the culture, you respect the the roots of it all. Back in the day, everyone could do their thing. F everyone that has issues with what you do. I agree, Cartagena. I really do.
Exactly.
Yeah, at some point you have to, like, if you want to grow, at some point you have to get that off your back. Like, you can't just sit there and worry about that shit. I mean, it's pointless, because you're gonna sit there and oh, I'm fucking whatever, I'm not real. It's not real enough. It's like, man, the only way, I don't know, who are some. Here's a fun one. Who do you have any artist in mind that you think sort of just is what do they call it? A culture vulture, right? What do they, is there any
Yo,
white rappers
like,
that you do think is kind of a culture vulture who you criticize?
see, I don't see, that's the thing, because like I think sometimes when you get into it with the people that are labeled like a culture vulture, like you say Little Dicky right off the bat.
That show is
Like they
funny
like
though.
maybe in the sense that, like, their verses and everything just come across as, not being in it, and then all of a sudden, popularized shit that you're just boom, you're the top of the charts. But I think that, like, a lot of people behind the scenes will have that deep love for hip hop, and if they don't, and I find out, that's when I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm. No, it's yeah, please.
Sorry, like, if you're a rapper, man, and you can't name like 10, your top 10, but if it's the top 10 you see everywhere else, and there's no reason to why your top 10 happens to be the same as everybody else, then it's kind of weird. You're like, okay, who are what are your favorite songs by this dude? What is this? And then they kind of just look blank, and you're like, shit, man, that might be a culture vulture.
It might be. You might be a culture vulture. If you can't name top 10 off the top of your head, you might be a culture cult. Jesus, I fucked
And there's
that
people
up.
that just have, like, the top 10, and they're just, like I said, man, it's the same top 10 plastered across everywhere that you see.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, oh, Biggie and Tupac. It's like, okay, have you ever heard anything outside Biggie and Tupac? Oh, dude, Eminem and Jay-Z. And it's like, okay, we're going places. Then Kanye West. It's like, oh shit, man, we're backtracking. Can we go somewhere else here? And it's funny, man. Like, people, I don't think they listen to enough.
Yeah. No, it's like I have a deep respect for hip hop, and I'll admittedly I'm not as deep as I could be. I'm not deep as I could be in the culture, but I feel like I'm just around. I'm in so many different circles. I've been in hip hop bands. I'm in a reggae band. I've been in bluesy type shit. You know what I mean? So like my taste and the genres that I love to be a part of is just very extensive, and what am I gonna do? I enjoy doing different things, and no one should be judged for that. But that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I always push back on cultural appropriation, but if you don't actually enjoy or appreciate the thing in question and do it for attention, definitely fucked up. Yeah, and like Behind That Suit was saying, Little Dicky, in his opinion, in Ho-Ho's opinion, he thinks that Little Dicky used hip hop to get a TV show and then abandoned hip hop. Now, I don't follow Little Dicky's career like that, and apparently Ho-Ho does. I'm just playing with you, baby. But but I enjoyed the TV show. I thought it was amazing. Like, it was very funny to me. But if he is using the culture just to get to another place, it's kind of like how comedians, well, this used to be bigger back in the day, where comedians were just using the medium of comedy to get a TV show. And then when other comedians would come around them, they're like, they weren't really accepted, they were kind of ostracized. And so I'm wondering if Little Dicky is someone who's ostracized. I mean, that song he did with fucking Chris Brown is pretty dope, Chris Brown's Dick or whatever it is, or what is that? Chris Brown's Body, it's fun. Stop it now. We're not by white people. Everywhere you go, white people. I'm guessing it's hard to miss white people in Canada. You know what I mean? Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, man. They're everywhere, especially when you play hockey. Like, there's just most of the people there. Like, there were some good, like, other people growing up and shit, but I would say at least 85% of our league happen to be some Caucasian dudes.
Mad Caucasian, baby. Yeah, and like, here's the thing, is like, I'm not here to rip on white people at all. Obviously, I'm pretty white myself. I have that 23% Mexican going for me. But besides that, this is very Germanesque. My Germanesque roots show. So, whatever. But I definitely, I think being appreciative and honoring and respecting cultures that you are a part of, or a part of, or want to take place in, or or just enjoy the culture. I think that's great. I think that's what makes music so amazing, and what made music so amazing over all these years is that it's always been this sort of bonding experience where where black folks and white folks come together and enjoy rock and roll or hip hop or whatever it is. It's always this thing. And, like playing reggae shows and stuff like that, kind of swinging back to that guy I was talking about who he has dreads. He does the biddy bong bong bong, does the patois accent. He's white as fuck from Missouri. But when he goes on stage and when he is at these festivals, and I played with him at festivals and stuff, the Jamaican heads show mad respect, man. They show mad respect because they know that it's coming from a respectful place. Now,
when you like when you see him on stage and everything, like at that moment that this dude's not just there to do his thing. He's not just there to be that culture vulture. And that's why they all respect him. They're like, damn, dude, this guy's got reggae all throughout him, through and through. This guy is reggae.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out, man.
I'll send you who it is, and I'll send you who it is afterwards, because I just don't want to shit. You know what? Fuck it. His name is Skillinger, okay? His name is Skillinger, and the only reason why I'm not, not because he works with someone called Josh Heinrichs, who's another white dude who does like a soulful version of reggae, which I really like. I really enjoy his music, and Skillinger, who is he does the whole thing with the patois and the fake accent, and he gets off stage and he's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" It's fine. Oh, Tom, no, we're not talking about Tom Hanks' son, okay? But they've addressed it, and that's sort of why I kind of go back to him as an example, because they've addressed it, on social media, and these guys have worked with like the Bob Marley camp, the Marley camp in Jamaica. So like they're not. It's not like they don't have the cachet to sort of back it up. They do well, and they sell or stream, I guess, albums, and they sell tickets to their shows and stuff, and they're able to do these big shows and bring a lot of people, and so you could see it that they do respect it, and it is in them, and I think that's fine, right? It's like that's what's bringing people together, and there's no reason to fucking make these fucked up divisions that it seems that are being pretty pushed onto us, these divisions that, from our news media, social media, our governments, they're all sort of pushing us apart from each other. And the greatest thing about music is it's always been something that's a constant of bringing people together.
Yeah, man, I think if you probably go, like you're saying, man, like those shows, like you find the group that in people, like you don't find that internet group. They're not going to be there. They're not going to be like, oh man, this guy's a culture vulture. Like you show up, and it's more appreciative when you can't just pause the link after 2 seconds and just be like, oh man, this fucking white guy.
Yeah.
Like you got to sit there and appreciate everything this dude's doing in front of you. And then you really get like the full aspect of what you're supposed to see. Not just the dude, you pop it on, white dude with dreads. You see him fucking strumming the bass, and you're like, "Oh my god, another one!" And you just shut it off.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean, I just feel like that shit comes through. Like that faking the funk shit comes through. It's hard to fake it for that long. If you're not really. Into if you're really just doing it because you think it's going to get you somewhere else, I feel like that's going to shine through. It's not going to be, if you're only doing this genre and you're sort of just ripping off this culture, just trying to put yourself forward, or, there's a myriad of reasons why people do all that shit, why people steal songs and why people do stuff. It's like, do unscrupulous shit like that. you know, they're just trying to further themselves. And I feel like if you're out there actually, you know, like we said, respecting the genre, Bradley Nowell, Bradley Nowell, baby, first white man to do the faking Jamaican thing, and was an absolute legend. R.I.P. Yeah, absolutely, sublime singer. And you go back through, and those rhythms come straight from they're ripping off those rhythms like hardcore from just old school Jamaicans and stuff. So it's you know, not only are they put a spin on it and create a whole new genre of reggae. They fucking they were directly ripping off bass lines and rhythms. So like, you know, they did something, they flipped it. It was very, it was like one of those, like, you know, it's like how sampling works in hip hop. You know, it's like almost, it was presented as almost an homage, and you're taking like Kool and the Gang, looping it and adding a backbeat to it, and then you rap over it, and it's like, it's become something completely different. And I think that's how they kind of got away with sort of blatantly stealing. I mean, blatant stealing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Have you ever seen shit, man? What's that old movie, New Guy, the new kid, the one with the dude who leads the reggae band, or not reggae band, the soul band? They always play that funky music, white boy. Fuck, man, it's with DJ Qualls. That's his name, DJ Qualls.
New Kid, but hold on, New Kid movie.
Yeah, man, it's a really funny movie, and that's it, man. Like, he goes home and he plays that soul music every day. It's so good, man. It's such a funny movie.
I've never seen it. I'll have to check that out.
So, yeah, I was talking to Holden about that one, I think 2 or 3 months ago.
There you go. Some of his most famous lines are actually referenced or even samples of Ini Kamosi. I can never get their name right. They're the one who they're this, right?
Out in the street, they call
I think that's who that is. I'm really DMCA'd for that too. I have seen the movie, Robbie said. Well, good. So we're all on the same page except for me. Ini. Oh, thank you. Ini. like a belly button. Ini. So I don't know, man. Like, when did you get into hip hop, and you know, when did you decide to start rapping, and then how did you get into, you know, starting a label like that insane undertaking? I got time.
So like beforehand, man, like I come from like metal, man. I love metal. I love rock and roll. That's what I grew up on, man. 100%. Like all of that stuff, like old school. Like I was listening to like the Bay City Rollers, like the Partridge Family, like all the weird stuff, man. Growing up, people were like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I was like, "You don't know them?" Then I realized why nobody knew them when I was getting older. And so,
Family.
like I started listening to rap, man. Like not full. Like I would listen to, you know, some songs here and there. I liked some Immortal Technique. I liked Eminem, obviously. There was Drake. You know, some of the stuff that I like for Drake, still people don't know. It's more like underground, unreleased stuff. Because I was listening to it, dude. I watched a lot of Degrassi, man. We're Canadian. Like I was born like, you know, like 15 minutes outside Toronto. Like this is my area. So I was like, I'll watch a lot of this. And I was like, oh man, this guy raps. And I started looking it up. But I listened to metal like full time pretty much. And then in like 2017, 2018, my buddy really put me onto, and it was funny because I never really crushed albums at the point. And my buddy put me onto Immortal Technique's Dance with the Devil. And I heard that. I mean, I was just dumbfounded. I was like, where's this side of hip hop that I'm not seeing? Like, I listened to Immortal Technique, but like the Point of No Return, stuff like that. I can't remember the other tracks I listened to, but then like Dance with the Devil hit, and I was like, this is a dark side of hip hop. I got to explore more. And so then I started finding like, oh my God, man. Ill Bill and Necro, they're like the kings of horrorcore. I think they're like, you've probably never heard of Ill Bill or Necro, have you?
No.
Necro samples like a motherfucker, man. Like he's got, I think, 300, 400 samples under his belt. The dude's the king of horrorcore. So he's not like, you know, appealing to some people, but after I started getting into Immortal Technique, oh God, it was a rabbit hole. It went from Immortal Technique to just like, I found R.A. the Rugged Man. Yeah, man, dude, that's Ill Bill right there.
There he is.
Ill Bill and Necro. You know, that's Ill Bill. I'm trying to see if Necro's here. I think that's Uncle Howard. That's Vinny Paz right there with him. Shit, man. Yeah, these guys. and like their songs, they hit so hard. Like I was blown away, man. I couldn't. Oh wait, it's like I think right there down on the left, one more down. That one right there, I think that's his brother to the left of him there. Oh no, his brother's right in the front. Yeah, that's Necro. Yeah, and then right to the left, Ill Bill.
There he is.
Oh, Gore-Tex, Mr. Hyde. Oh, that's the whole family on that one. Holy shit.
2020. Some pandemic shit, stuff, son. Man. Look at that. And where are these guys hail from?
They're from the New York area.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, man. God. What's the one song they have? The Heights. Oh, I can't remember the name of the heights they come from. I would probably get it wrong.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Like this is interesting to me. Again, I'm not. I love hip hop and I've been involved in a lot of it, but I'm not a hip hop head to at all.
It was just like I would listen to like Immortal Technique or something, and then I would hear like a featuring verse, and I'd be stuck. I'd be like, "Yo, who was that? What was that featuring verse?"
Yeah.
Then I'd go to this guy after I finished the album up. I'd go check out his album, and then there would be like like 6 featuring verses on there, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, here we go. This is endless." And I'm still to this day like I got artists up on my fucking wall to listen to still, because there's just so many that I have to go. Gravediggers, yeah. Oh my god. Dude, yeah, I love Gravediggers, man.
Sweet. RZA's involved? Okay. I got that. Well, we'll have to go check that. I'm going to write that down right now.
Yeah, dude. Gravediggers, Necro, Horrorcore, Ill Bill, the whole family, man. Like Mr. Hyde, Gore-Tex. You can find them just going across album to album to album. They all feature, because, the whole underground community, the Horrorcore especially, is just so, like, tight knit that you find one guy on one album, then you find like go to his appears and you're like, oh shit, everybody he's appearing on their albums, I already listened to that. You're like, this guy's gonna be great. And that's how I lost myself, God, man, for years. I'm still in that hole.
So Ill Bill's from Brooklyn. Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
I think Necro's from there as well. They're a Jewish family.
Oh, okay.
Great songs about that, man. Like from being Jewish in that area, not fitting in, that being the white rapper, everybody's like, oh, but you're Jewish, like how can you be a rapper?
Right.
So there's really good fucking content there, man. And I was attracted to it right away.
Yeah.
And it snowballed, man. Like I started, oh god, Sick Jackin', Snow Goons over in Germany. They're about like the best production team I've ever heard of. Man, I can keep going all day about underground artists. That's the thing. Like, I got to stop myself at some point.
Well, no, no, please go ahead.
Sorry, like the producers, man. That was the other thing. Like to know that, like when you come from rock and roll and metal, like everybody has a band behind them. It's a whole band aspect, and then you get to a producer, and this one dude's laying like the entire track. And then I was like, shit, man, I can follow like producers from like discography to discography. Like I don't have to just follow one band to be like tracking a drummer's work or a guitar player's work. I can track like at least 70 different artists with this guy as the producer on the track. It was a wild new world, man. I got lost. Like I keep saying, just absolutely, I couldn't get myself out of that hole.
That's awesome though. I mean, like, I feel like going down these like music holes is better than going down like the, cocaine hole or
I've been there. That's one I had to get away from.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to. I mean, music is a great distraction in that sense, where I mean, it can really keep you out of trouble. It was. I mean, it was. I found trouble regardless, but for a lot of people, music is that escape where it can kind of sort of keep you in a safe zone and not like out in the streets or out doing cocaine. So wait, you were doing cocaine and that's when you got into Ill Bill and all this, or?
No, man, that was actually like that's almost 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Yeah, I've been clean for a long time. I have kept myself away from that. I had a run in with prescriptions, but then I had to like shy away from those. But no, man, that was just when I was smoking lots of weed.
If you don't mind.
Oh, dude, Wellbutrin. They call it the poor man's cocaine for a reason.
That's what they wanted to put me on as Wellbutrin for my ADHD. It's an ADHD medication and it's an upper.
It works nice, man. But if you get it up like a margarita and stuff, then like it does the opposite effect, and it like
and you're up all night.
It's way too enticing. So I had to stop that as well. And that was Yeah, I was probably listening to some Ill Bill at that point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in this. Whoa. That's so funny.
Yeah, man,
Wellbutrin, the poor man's cocaine, and what's the other one that's like basically meth? It's Adderall.
Oh, dude, like those Adderall, the Concertas, those ones, man. Those ones are those are you can't get into those, because if you get into those with an addictive personality,
it's over. It's over. No, my run-in with Adderall was horrible. Like the first time and only time I've ever did it. I was at an Ohio State, like the Buckeyes, the fucking, we were partying down there on campus or in the dorms or whatever the fuck we were in the neighborhood over there. And fucking someone busted out these lines of Adderall. And so like I'm hitting it. And then all night I'm drinking and then like hitting this Adderall. And I'm like, yeah, we're partying. And then like at some point I remember it dripped back into the back of my throat. And all of a sudden my stomach was like gurgling. And like this party was crazy. It was like wall to wall. And I was like, I got to get to the bathroom. I have to get to the bathroom. I'm trying to push my way through. And there was this long ass line, and there was no way. And that spittle, that gross spit that starts like bubbling up in your mouth when you know you're about to puke, is fucking. it was starting, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And I'm drunk and fucked up at this point. I start walking towards the front door, and all I see is the kitchen, and it's dark. It's dark, and no one's in there, and I just lean in and go, "Bah!" And then I start walking away real quick. It's like, did you just puke in the kitchen? I'm like, no. And I just fucking booked out the door. And then I woke up in my friend's car, which didn't stop smelling like farts until he sold it years later.
Dude, that's because like Adderall, it takes like so much away from your brain, so much water.
Yeah.
That if you're not drinking water like mad, you go downhill. Dude, I used to like somebody in here said they used to take it for like college and shit.
Yeah.
Man. I've taken Adderall or Concerta for years, not at this point anymore.
Yeah.
I did it to get like, I was a madman at work. I was getting a lot of raises because I was the most productive dude they ever had. I was just like on such a high dose of Adderall and Concerta in the morning. I just showed up and I was like, yo, let's conquer this bitch every day. We got
this. Let's go.
They're like, whoa, man, he's doing a lot of work today. It's like, yeah, I am.
I'm getting shit done. No, well, that's the thing, right? Adderall is the college drug, right? Yeah, and oh yeah, me too, Papa Sweet. I abused the shit out of it. They gave me these recently because they were changing up my medication for my brain hole. They gave me this pill that was for anxiety, but also for sleeping. And like I immediately started abusing it because it kind of made me feel like I took cough syrup. I was like, oh, I can just take this. And then I realized what I was doing, and I dumped it in the toilet because I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is dumb. I hate being on it, but it works well for studying. Yes, indeed, right? It works well for studying. By the way, I want to just stop right here and like, don't do drugs, kids. Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad.
Don't do drugs. Okay. I know that I sound like I'm glorifying. It sounds really. There's a lot of glory in puking in an open kitchen. That's
while you're sweating.
While you're sweating. Yeah. There's lots of glory there, but no, it was none of this. It was a good time while it lasted, but it always turns into a chore. So just stay away.
And it's that change of consciousness, man. Like as soon as it hits and you feel yourself in a different state, it gets addicting, man. Like it takes over. Just like you just feel like a little different. You're like, whoa, I see the world different at this point, and then you're just like, shit, man, that old world sucks.
It does, man. And I remember, just like every once in a while I'll be walking by somewhere and I'll get a whiff of something that smells like burning heroin, and I'll just be like, bleh. Like it's just like it gets my gag reflex going.
For me, it's like this. It's like a bitter, like ground up pill smell. If I smell that, it just it's such a weird smell. I don't like it anymore. Before it would be like, woo, but now it's just like, oh my god, what the fuck is that smell? Yeah. It's like vinegar.
Yeah, dude. No, for real.
You hate it.
For real. Oh, dude, Ambience. Oh my god, I've fucked with Ambience too, man. Like.
And that's the issue, man. Like they just continuously, even if you're not open about it, they just continuously keep fucking pumping this stuff at you, man.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You're like, I've never had a friendlier drug dealer in my life.
Than my doctor.
Like,
yeah.
You're like, I'm showing up and you're giving me your recommendation for the day. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Today we have Adderall and Wellbutrin. Welcome.
And then they're like, "Do you have insurance? It's cheaper."
Well, to be fair, in Canada, you guys don't need insurance for drugs, right?
I think for a lot of them you do is if it goes off name brand. I think
yeah.
if you're under 23 right now, I don't remember the law because I'm 26 at this point. It doesn't even apply to me. I'm like, fuck that shit.
Oh yeah.
But
I thought you guys had the whole socialist commie welfare state stuff.
A lot of drugs you have to pay for up here, but if you want to change your penis to a vagina, hit our government up.
Nuh-uh. For real?
Yeah, man.
They just do that for you?
A lot of it. If you look it up, dude, under OHIP, it's unbelievable. But then, like, yeah, man, there's some drugs that people got to pay, like, if you ain't got really good insurance, like, hella out of pocket. And sometimes your insurance will only cover, like, certain percentages as well. So there are areas where, like, you show up to the hospital, man, they'll bandage you up right quick and you're gone. And it's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But then there's other areas of it where, you know, you look back and you're like, well, I paid what for meds?
Wow.
Like, if I was still on, I think Concerta was one of them, man, where if I was on that, like, full time, I was like $300 a month, $360 a month without insurance. Because that one's not within, like, the name brand or within the whatever brands they offer. Under it. So a doctor would be like, oh, okay, so you had to pay that last month. Let me rig you up on this off-name fucking Concerta or whatever this month because that's what's covered under your insurance.
Whoa.
It's whack, man.
That is whack. I mean, I'm in America, so our fucking healthcare system is garbage anyway. But you know, like when you hear about these other people who have socialized medicine, you're just like, oh man, wouldn't that be great if that was here? But still, the insurance companies still got their greasy little fingers in your guys' pocketbooks. That's wild. I didn't think that was even a thing up there, but of course.
And then like the insurance that we pay for, like, because you know y'all got your privatized insurance and stuff. Like I got mine through work. And I think I pay a couple $100 a month for that as well, just to have that like available to me to make sure that, like, you know, obviously a hospital visit, I go there, that's good. X-rays I think are good. I've had a lot of those. I'm probably be a superhero in like 10 years. Like I got so much radiation pumping through me, a few more, and I'm coming out glowing.
How do you break so many things?
Oh man, too many head injuries. So like I've had so many head scans and stuff.
Whoa.
And like my ankle and stuff, just all hockey, man. Hockey is a fun sport, but it fucks you right up sometimes.
Fucking hockey, eh? Fucked up.
Dude,
my
when
brain
you got a
pan.
guy that's like flying at you on ice, and then you fly at him, and then you're just like, poof, it hurts.
No, there's no getting around collisions, man, and those brain injuries. That's fucking crazy, man. So have you had any like side effects from that? Because I mean, brain injuries can really fuck you up. Like, what are some of your side effects that you have from all the? I mean, you've been concussed a few times.
I've been concussed, like I think on paper, like 7 times, like 6 times. And that's just like my last one that took me out of hockey entirely. I'm not allowed to go back, and I'm 26. It happened when I was 23, so that's 3 years ago.
Whoa.
Like my short-term memory, dude, can be comedic, like Dory. Like we can be talking in the middle of a conversation, and I'll have like this time where I'm just running and talking, and then I'll have like this dumbfounded look come across my face, and they're like, "You forgot, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I forget what we're talking about."
Dude, I do. Oh my god, I do that in real time constantly.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times I've been concussed. I don't know.
Dude, it's like the light sensitivity when I turned on the ring light first, and I was like looking like that. I was like, holy fuck.
I thought you were just stoned and was like, oh my eyes, man. But it's really like this blaring shot of pain going through your brain, I'm guessing.
And it looked like I was like walking into heaven. Like I saw the light right there, man. I was like, holy shit, that's it. Something happened.
I'm dead. That's it. Man, no, that's wild, man. Those brain injuries are no joke. I mean, some people get like depression and like they get
hella, man. Yeah, and like I've been on a stretch like trying to just like do it with no antidepressants, because before this one I never had an antidepressant in my system, and then I got whacked, and the psychiatrist was like, yo, you're fucked, you should have one in your system.
Wow.
And so I tried it, and then like after a while, like the dependency, I kind of like I had a lot of issues with my memory. I'd forget to take them, so I'd end up in like withdrawal.
Oh,
So
shit.
it would be like weird. It would be weird shit having like the concoction of meds.
Wow.
And so I stopped them and then just kind of smoked weed for the last little bit, and trying to get myself out of the holes, man, because of the depression it kind of brings on is wild.
Yeah.
And like you don't even like, dude, sometimes like, you know, headaches, huge, migraines, huge. And then you'll be sitting there and like you'll just be like chilling watching hockey and you feel yourself like wanting to cry.
Oh my God.
And you're like, yeah, because that's how I knew I was really fucked up on the last one. I got hit and I stood up and my legs turned to jelly and I started crying,
Jeez.
but nothing hurt. And I was like laughing. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Here we go. Man.
And it's still, yeah, man, still you just sit there and you're really like, fuck, you're like sitting there and you're like, okay, this is really awesome. You're like, why am I sad?
No, for real. No, I mean, I wake up days where I'm just depressed, you know, like I'm just sad for whatever reason. I'm just awake now and I'm sad. But I can't imagine what it's like to just be like in these moments. I mean, the closest thing I can think of is like they would prescribe me Abilify, which is prescribed to like.
Oh yeah, I've been there, man.
It's for bipolar folks and I don't know, maybe schizophrenia. I can't remember all the
That's
things.
the one that that's what I got diagnosed with when there was a lot of missed head injuries. Like,
Wow.
I think I got diagnosed with bipolar because everything just kind of lined up with it, you know, the sadness, the anger. And then you kind of look back and you're like, oh, this dude's just Canadian. He's been whacked a lot.
He's just Canadian, eh? He likes hockey. Yeah, I mean, that might, yeah. No, for me, Abilify made me super emotional, like for no reason and stuff. So like it was just one of those things that like I could tell this is just not the thing for me, and like I had to stop.
It's weird,
taking
eh?
it. Yeah, it is weird. I don't like that pill at all, but now I'm on some. I don't even know what it's called. It's like Celexa, and I take one other thing, and like it's been about 8 weeks now, and I gotta say I'm pretty fucking amazed that things are going well. So like
there was one they hooked me up on, man, and I wanted to destroy the world for 21 days. They're like, no, take it for the 21 days. And I'm like, dude, this is shit. This is horrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's what's crazy about medicine of the mind is like you're talking to a psychiatrist and they don't know, you know, this is not an exact fucking science. It's literally like a fucking car mechanic who's like, well, if that don't work, then we'll try this. And if that don't work, we'll try this. And if that don't work, well, shit, we'll try this. And then meanwhile,
exactly,
you know, you spent like 3 or 4 months like in a fucking whirlwind of insane emotions and feelings and thoughts and like, it was wild, man. It was, and like for me, this was just a few months ago or like a couple months ago. And I started a new really high stress job. I'm working with the homeless, you know, and like, it was wild. It was wild. I could not keep my shit together. And just in these last couple of weeks, things have been really coming together, which I'm really grateful because I don't want to experiment with that shit. Like, I don't like that. I was on Ritalin too, man. I was on Ritalin too.
Yeah, dude. When you start like going right around that like kind of experimental phase they toss you into, it's weird. Like you want to just have it all be nice, but like then the med is like, yo, fuck you, man.
It is.
And you're like, why am I taking the poison?
Yeah, for real. No, I was texting my friend telling him that she's like, just stop taking it. And I'm just like, but the doctor, they told me.
The doctor says.
And I'm just, but like it's weird too because like I've always been very suspicious of medications. I've always been suspicious, and like you, I've sort of tried to grit and bear my mental illnesses with you know self-medicating with weed and stuff, and always been like, I don't like that stuff. That stuff's bad. That you know. Most of the active shooters are on some kind of, you know, SSRI. So it's like, for me, it was poison. And then, you know, I just hit this point where I was like, I can't do this by myself anymore. And
oh, no, dude. When I say I've been bearing this with weed, I mean, it's been like, I could count the months on my hand. Like, there's a decade of medication use. And then there's months on my hand that I've been doing it like just with weed. And it's been, like there might be a return. We might see that, you know, reboot episode.
Yeah. No, I mean that it's just fuck, dude. I mean, it's such a journey, and especially you know you're 26, and you gotta think that your front lobe what's it called, is just now developing into its fullest capacity. So like you are just now becoming like a full adult from, from adolescence, which is,
And it's bad.
the transition is fucked up, man. It's really fucked up
The
transition.
last 10 years have just been like drugs, concussions. I think that's it. Like,
Yeah. And
I've
meanwhile
messed up
your
my
brain's
brain
still
too.
growing. Your brain's not even, it wasn't even done growing over the last 10 years. You're
Yeah.
still developing who you are and stuff. I mean, it's just very wild to think that, I mean, I was doing the same shit, like fucking, self-medicating throughout that whole time. And what I noticed is like by the time I was 30 and I was coming off of, drugs and alcohol, it was like I was left as a shell of a human being. Like I didn't really know what I was. All that was left was like this angry and depressed human being. And I don't know. Did you
Yeah.
have, when you were coming off all these medications and off of drugs and stuff? How did you? Where were you? Did you feel like you had to start over in some way?
Yeah, man. Like I think there was a lot of like high dose shroom trips that really helped me
Mm,
during the way. Like there was one that was like revolutionary that I think really helped me. And that's a dose of shrooms I will never recommend to anybody. Like
no.
I remember we bought the ounce that night and I had 11.5 grams myself. And like, it just like, it was the most, oh my God, lucrative thing. But then like since then, like just small little doses, little teas, everything like that. And kind
Yeah.
of just like hitting those really rock bottom spots.
Yeah.
And when you hit those rock bottom spots, you're like, yo, what do I do? Like, where does this reflection come from? Because like, if I'm not doing it myself, and I'm not the one that's really doing it. And my girlfriend helps the most, man. Like I am in no way, shape, or form a strong person. I am trying to get there, I believe. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm achieving for.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man, like without somebody strong that really like puts you through and helps you with it, it's it's hard, man. Like my parents were horrible. Well, my dad's a good guy.
Hmm.
Not a good dad, but he's a good guy. My mother, oh God. So like in that right there, I had to like kind of look to other sources, books, other kind of figures that you can draw that inspiration from. And then music was the biggest one, man.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, rock. When I was a teen, metal. Now it's just all hip hop. And I still listen to rock, still listen to metal. So when those moods hit, you kind of look to the biggest inspiration you have behind the pen,
Mhm.
behind the drum set, behind the guitar, all that stuff. And you're like, yo, this guy is fucked, man. This guy is just as, if not worse off than I am, at a mental state when he released this album. What's good? Like, how do I not have that inspiration? But this guy did. And that's
Mm.
something that I think lights a fire under my ass, like time and time and time again. Like, yeah, Linkin Park saved this guy for a long time, or girl. I think that's
It's
I can't see
Robbie.
the name on my phone.
That's all good. It's Robbie. Robbie's a dude. Lincoln Park. Yeah, and what's interesting is that I've heard a lot of people say that Lincoln Park was a huge part of their like growing and like getting through some shit. And it's interesting that Chester took his own life. I mean, isn't
Dude,
that like,
that was a big one. Yeah, man.
yeah, that
That was like the complete opposite. Like, yo, if somebody can't be happy that has that, how do you be happy when you don't have that?
wow.
Like it's kind of like that was a big one, man. It's the other side of that coin. There's a really light side where like somebody's going through it and they produce the magic. Then there's like the other dark side where it's like, shit, man. Now you gotta backtrack and you gotta look at all of that. And it's just like I think this is Robbie again, hit him hard. Yeah, man.
Mm.
10
Yeah.
days before you're supposed to see him. That is even, oh God, that's tragic.
It is, man.
That's horrible.
Wow. You did a memorial for him. That's really cool, Robbie.
And that's where there's too many musicians, man, where like they become kind of like that little beacon of hope,
Mm.
and then like that happens and you're like,
Right.
oh God.
Right, right, and they they had so much success, and so it's just, whew, it's just wild, like you think that hitting some pinnacle of success and is gonna give you the mental fortitude to sort of get through the rest of your days on Earth, but
Yeah, man.
it doesn't matter if you're not doing the work, digging down deep, and like because you can have all the success in the world. and just be a miserable person and you know want to end your own life and like that
Yeah.
to a lot of people doesn't make sense, but it's not success that gives you value, right? It's not success that gives you self-worth. It helps, it fucking helps, it sure does, but it's not what really counts in this. It's like doing the work and having to fucking, you know, go see the psychologist or find that you got whatever way that you can get through this shit and find peace within yourself and find a place for you to stand in this world. I mean, no matter what, you're always going to be, you know, no matter how much success you find, you're always going to be a miserable and unhappy person, you know? So it is really, it is really a double-edged sword in that way. It's just, and then imagine, you know, if you just, you know, the people who do end up failing at things, you know, tend to, you know, go down those shitty rabbit holes in their own head, and they tend to spiral out, can't follow through, can't finish shit, can't, you know, like it's just something, it's literally a self-block. And it's hard to get past, man. It really is hard to get past. And I mean, you don't fail until you quit. So that's what I have to say about that. I mean, just fucking don't quit. Just keep going.
Yeah, man, you really gotta have somebody, at least somebody there, man, that's giving you that backing. I think if you're by yourself, that makes it a lot worse. And then, like, dude, the music is a huge one that I think in some of those weird times, like, it really can bring you out of it, even if that person has the dark side of the coin there.
Yeah.
Like, the beauty that came from it overall is just like, you're just astounded. You're like, holy shit, man. Like, I gotta have at least 8 more albums in myself before before I go. There's got to be that content where when I drop, it's already dropped, it's already all there, because that's it, man. Like, you get to look back now this guy's entire life. And that's the weird part. Like, there's those messages, like those kind of little ones, you know, people are like, oh, look how deep that lyric is when it comes out. And then, like, dude dies and you're like, oh shit, man. You know, look at like how much deeper people pay attention to the lyric and what the lyrics were that were kind of like the leading up to the end, like the final finale songs.
Yeah.
Like, what did Chester have? Chester had like Heavy, One More Light. Like, he had kind of, you know, those songs like that.
Yeah.
Where they were like, boom, in your face, like exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Was it Chris Cornell?
Yeah.
That was his friend year or 2 years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's like Bam Margera, like how messed up he got after Ryan, man. Like, sometimes you just have that person in the world that if you lose them, that kind of shatters you, because Bam's not Bam.
Yeah, no, he got fat and got weird and whatever, you know.
He got weird, man. He did get a little weird.
But yeah, I mean, I've always loved that shit, man. Those
look at that comment. Yeah, he took his life on Chris's birthday. So that's the weird stuff, man. Like,
yeah, man.
Obviously that was a huge trigger, like, that really came up to him at the end of it, where it was just way too much to handle.
Yeah, and like Robbie was saying, Shinoda, you know, he's now on Twitch and you know, he expresses how it fucks him up and how it fucked him up. You know, like that's I mean, you gotta imagine, especially, you know, even zeroing in on Linkin Park, is like you go through this journey together where you're brothers and you're like you're giving birth, you know, to all these musical children and man. You know, to have to walk through the world without your partner and the person that you've been through all these things together with. I mean, that it leaves, there's a void, you know? And,
yeah, man,
know, I give it up to Shinoda. It's almost
like at a certain point, like, that's your work husband.
Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly.
Like, you go there and that's your work husband. If you're in a duo, that's kind of what it is. It's, you don't want to look at it that way, but that's what it is, man. Like, if a part of that duo dies, and obviously Linkin Park's not a duo, but when you look at Linkin Park and like you see 2 frontmen, you're like, okay. Yeah. And then you see one gone and you're like, oh shit. And just the kind of like the chemistry they had on those tracks, man, was unbelievable. Like, you know, him singing, him rapping. It was such a cool dynamic that I think it introduced people that didn't even like rap to rap.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, it was at the Wachovia Spectrum, Robbie? Hold on, Robbie sent the set list of his last show. Hold on. Bam. In Philly? Is that where it was? Hunting party brought me back to hybrid theory. So there it is. There's that set.
Yeah, dude, that's a crazy set. Look at the end of that. Oh shit, there's more. Damn, encore. One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Damn.
Well, they had to do that, right? They had to do the.
Oh yeah.
They have to do the
that
big
one's
one.
such a fucking hit. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. They did some cool stuff, man. They did some cool stuff, and it's always sad, when our heroes, you find out that they're just human, just like us, like we put them on these pedestals, and then one day, you just discover that they're humans just like everybody else with emotions and shit. We're so separated.
Yeah, man, that's
from
where
that.
I think you gotta like draw the inspiration from when you see like some dude that is going through hell, and he just keeps pumping content out like day in, day out.
Yeah.
And he's just going through hell, man. Like, that behind that dude is broken, but like musically, he will not stop. Hockey will not stop. Sports will not stop. Like,
yeah, on all the levels, on all the fucking levels, man. It's but and at some point, I mean, like for me, music and working and stuff has gotten me through depression just in ways of just by distracting me from what, like during the pandemic, it was such a crazy time, and I just buried myself in work and building out the podcast and stuff that the world could have been burning around me. All I cared about was just doing my show. And like to the point where I was turning down recording gigs, because there was no gigs at the time, but like, they were like, I'll give you money. I'm just like, I don't care about that. I want to just do this. Like, it was such an obsession for me, which I'm very grateful for, because it's how I built out the stream. It's building out the podcast, and that work that I put into it, from just distracting myself from, depression and the world burning, and it's just crazy because the world hasn't stopped burning for years now. Now that we're in World War III here, but it was just such a sanctuary for me, and and that's the other side of it too, is like it can be a sanctuary for you, and to the point where my wife had to like pull it back a little, like, yo, you have a family over here, bro. It's fucking you got to like interact with us sometimes. But I mean, has it ever been like that for you? Has music ever been that like distraction? I mean,
dude, yeah. And you're gonna laugh again, but I can't play hockey. Like, it's been 3 years, almost 3+ years. I haven't been able to step foot on the ice. So, like during that time, a lot of the lights. Sometimes you get the migraines, and all you can do is really pop on the headphones, pop on music to really, you're sitting there and you're like, fuck, I don't want to read. Reading's making me nauseous. And so you just have to sit there, and you got to really just dive into the music, low volume, high volume, whatever it is, man. And I think, God, man, depression, that's been a huge one as well. You roll through some of your favorite albums when you're depressed. You roll through some of your favorite, like, pick me up songs. Everybody's got that fucking playlist in their head, what they roll through. Oh, yeah. And so I think, God, man, when I was young, I even listened to so much music, man. Like, just shit that happened, a lot of it, I would always just have like Queen on, I'd have Boston on, I'd have all that kind of stuff, man. All those good vocalists, I loved them. Oh yeah. So it's always been kind of like a crutch. I've listened to, oh God, way too much music. Spotify tells me every year how much of an addict I am. At the end of it, they gotta fucking remind me. Hey, you're in the top 0.1% of our listeners. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up! Don't remind me.
Which is, I mean, you know what? Well, again, though, like it's better that you're investing your time into music and creating music and creating a platform for musicians, instead of like rolling down the bad neighborhoods in your head, over and over. You're just looping the block, like you get into cycles or spirals, and it's like it's become this thing where I've gotten really good at it actually now, where I can sort of divert my attention away from my own stupid thoughts that are driving me nuts, like to a point where I can just sort of not change right away, but like if I really focus, I can sort of shift attention, whether it goes into work or, I don't know, TikTok even for me, which isn't the healthiest thing, folks. I'm not telling you to go into TikTok, but for me, whatever the distraction is, I just need to get out of my own head. Yeah. So it's really whatever it is, I need to get out of my own head so I don't feel this way, and so I can remind myself and have enough, fortitude in my head to understand that you're doing this to yourself. you're making the choice to beat yourself up or to be angry. You're making that choice. And sometimes you're angry and you have the right to be angry. But like for me, anger is one of those things that will just bubble up and for very little reasons. And it's just my own shit, you know?
Yeah.
So whatever.
Like you just talk yourself into all the bullshit. It's not even like an issue sometimes. And you make it like a be all end all issue where you just want to destroy everything. And it's like, and then you sit back like the next day and you look at it and you're like, whoa, man, yesterday me was fucked up.
Yeah. And then you have to go put out all the fires you started. And like, and what sucks about it is that it's like this big energy dump. So like the next day or after I like freak out for some stupid reason, I feel fucking drained. I feel sad and depressed. It's like it literally, you're dumping all these chemicals, internal brain chemicals. That was a weird way to say that, but you're dumping all these chemicals, all these emotions, all this energy into this like really negative thing that you're doing to yourself. And then what's left is you drained all the good chemicals, all your feel good chemicals, because it all went to this one place. Because in some weird way, for me, anger is, it feels good in some weird way, like just to purge
in the moment,
that shit.
Man.
In the moment,
to get that shit out.
Yeah, and it's just you're just expressing yourself incorrectly, like you can go get that shit out. I mean, that's what the gym is for. That's what music is for. That's what. I don't know, just there is different ways to sort of divert that and redirect that energy, to redirect that stream, right? Like you gotta just like,
man.
Where can this stream go other than like fucking into this fucking dam, into this wall where it's just gonna build up and pool up and fucking, and then you're gonna drown yourself, like you got to figure out where that stream can flow into something creative or just productive in general.
You got to take that other fork in the road, man. One's fuck up the day and the other one's do something useful. I'm not the best at going the best route there. Sometimes I do go the fuck up the day route, but
yeah, we're human.
I'm trying hard.
Yeah, no, and that's beautiful, man. And I wish when I was 26, I had that sort of that mindset. It took me a few more years, and
Dude,
my wife,
that girlfriend.
Yes, I was going to say
her good energy, and I'm just like, fuck energy. I'm in a bad mood, and then it's like good energy, and I'm like, okay, maybe I gotta calm down a little bit here.
Yeah, no, for real. Like a solid partner is like so crucial, and that's what sucks is like working with the homeless in these last few months. The biggest thing that they don't have is someone in their corner, and that's so unfortunate. Like these are people who have been sort of abandoned by society, by their family, by friends, and because they're suffering some kind of mental illness or an addiction that they're just, no one's in their corner. And I was just telling this to a guy the other day. He's this fucking alcoholic, and he can barely stand every time he comes in there. But he was in there, and he was telling me, he was like, Mike, you've been down this road before, haven't you? You've been like this before. I was like, yeah, I have. I've been real deep down that road. And he's just like, how do you pull yourself out of this? And I'm just like, it's a lot of work, but I was lucky enough to have someone in my corner. He's like, wow. He's like, I don't have anybody. And I was like, well, that's why I'm here. And he started crying, I was like, I'm here because I know that some people in this world don't have anybody. And over these last few months, like it's been super fucking rewarding to be that for people. And I was just talking about this morning. It's like making eye contact and listening to their stories for just a few minutes. It doesn't take a long time. You just sit there for 3 to 5 minutes, hear them do their story, do whatever, and remembering their name, right? Because it's just like for a lot of people, homeless people are just a step over them, or just they've been the stigma around it, and so
exactly,
just being able to connect and having someone there to just be like, hey, go ahead, go do it. And that's what's so fucking sad, that there's so many people that don't have any of that. There's so many people now in this world that, especially with all this isolation shit from the pandemic, it's like there's so many people that don't have someone in their corner just saying, hey, good job, fucking, hey, don't do that, stupid. Like just having that, like people just don't have that, and it's right. But it's just really sad, and the fact that we were lucky enough to have someone to put up with our shit and who accepted us for who was right, and for that is so crucial. And I'm very thankful that I met my wife, and I'm, as you are, very thankful that you met your girlfriend. So it's just like people just need a little encouragement, and people just need to know that someone cares and someone remembers their name and makes eye contact with them.
Some people forget that they're like 5 given moments away from homelessness themselves.
Yeah, for real. For fucking real. And
a lot of people forget that.
And as we face this inflation and we face fucking, these rising gas prices and
rising
all these rising Doritos prices and in your fucking country they fucking, the banking system's so fucked up now. Like you guys can just get your bank account shut off if you guys don't comply.
Yeah.
And that was something that was left over from a peaceful protest. What was it? The trucker thing.
The truckers, man, going down. They were partying hard in Ottawa, man. Holy crap. I saw lots of videos. I was scared that I'd be on some kind of list if I donated or went down there. And I was going to be on a list. So fucking good thing I did not.
Yeah. Oh, did they end that? Did they end that behind the suit? Okay, good. I'm glad that they ended that because I thought that was a thing that they were gonna. What did they end it because of backlash, or did they end it? It was an emergency. Yeah, but that whole emergency thing was bullshit. That was such bullshit. I mean, in Ottawa, were the truckers tearing apart the city like they were in Montreal for the BLM marches?
Dude, no, I don't think so. Part of me was waiting for fucking Holden to go to Ottawa with his speakers and shit and like set up with a statue and start rapping for the crowd. That's what I thought was going to be good. I thought he was going to go there and just like, be like, oh man, this is great. There's a huge crowd. I can grab my speakers and I can perform for everybody.
And they probably would have fucking been cool with it. But imagine Holden going down to a BLM rally that was going on in Montreal and doing that. What would have happened to Ho-Ho then? Would they?
Dude, if he started going up, lose weight, motherfucker, lose weight, I think they would have. I don't know what the outcome would have been, man.
And went live. Yeah, well, but not doing.
But dude, we need you performing. We need you performing at all these. We need you with your speakers, like you go to like the parks and stuff. Like. Go. Dude, Ottawa would have been huge. You just be like silence, and everybody thinks you're about to go for a huge speech, and then your music starts up. Perfect. Perfect. No, it was a very, like as an outsider's perspective, seeing that going on, when you saw, Montreal get lit on fire and all the riots, it wasn't fucking protests, it was riots. And then you see these truckers honking and they're partying and they have their families out and there's jump houses and yeah, there was a fucking Nazi flag or whatever, but they chased them fuckers away where there wasn't fires everywhere. It was just people honking. So it was just really crazy that there was like, it's an emergency. We have to pull out wartime emergency efforts to stop these truckers. And then to go after people and publicly shame them. Look at Holden's going off right now. Look at this. Dude, you want to see a Canadian riot, man? When Vancouver lost to Boston, they lit Vancouver on fire when there was no Stanley Cup. That was a big riot. That's more hockey, man. That's when Canadians riot like unpeacefully.
Are you a story about Canada and the way they like to party? Like the party, clean the streets, power to the people, feed the homeless. Yeah, Canadians know how to do it, baby. No, but there was a distinction. And listen, I'd rather hear honking than have my small business catch on fire because some asshole fucking Antifa white kid was like, I'm sticking up for black rights by burning down these neighborhoods. Like, come on, man. Now I sound like Joe Byron. Come on, man.
Joe Byron, man.
Yeah, people were affected, but it wasn't like they lost their fucking business or had to replace their fucking front plate window. I mean, come on, bro. You know that fucking, there's a big difference between violence and fucking honking. There's a big difference. Big fucking difference. So, I mean, look, I'm not trying to shit on Canada or any of that shit. I am shitting on Trudeau.
We're in a position where you're allowed to, I think, a little bit.
Oh yeah, fuck Trudeau. Like that dude is a fucking puppet. Fucking the fucking God damn it, the World Economic Forum puppet, bro. He's fucking part of the Great Reset. Here I go. But and he's also what's his name? He's Fidel Castro's son as well. Preach the powers.
Dude, that is like way too uncanny. It's like terrifying, man.
What do you want to tell Joe Byron right now? I want him to fucking relax, Joe Byron. Fucking take some time off, bro. Let someone else do this job, you old fuck. You fucking lifelong crook. You lifelong fucking crook. Burisma, fucking Ukraine, fucking the biolabs, the fucking his son, Hunter Biden, the fucking laptop was real. Fuck you, Joe Byron. Dude, that's what I want to say.
Isn't Biden like 80 in December?
Probably. I don't know.
Or November. I think he turns 80, man.
I mean, he's fucking about as worth as much as a fucking turd on the ground. I don't know. Somebody call Spike Lee and tell these people to do the right thing. What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Oh yeah, that's right. He's like, bing bong. What's up? What do you want to say to Joe Byron right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Yeah, you're right, Z. My bad. You're right. That would have been way funnier than me just sounding like a fucking right-wing conspiracy theorist. So thank you for bringing me back. I'm not right-wing, by the way, everybody, but there is some weird shit going on. I mean, what was your opinion when you saw the wartime effort thing go on? I mean, did you have opinion? Did you even care? I mean, you were just saying that you wanted to donate to the cause, but I mean, what you saw was like they leaked the information of people who fucking who donated. They fucking went and they they were prosecuting people for donating. They were doing shit to people and shutting down bank accounts and shit. That's some real shit. They were fucking.
I could not buy Tim Hortons, man. If they shut my bank account down, I'd be fucked. I'd have to like smuggle in like Tim Hortons. I'd have to pay them in weird, odd ways. I'd be like, dude, can you buy my Tims today? Like, do
you take crypto, bro? You take crypto? Oh, they're regulating crypto too. Okay, I'll blow you for a fucking macchiato, bro.
Yeah, man, meet me out back for my double.
Not a fan of Byron, but it was a situation where you had to pick the better of two either. And you know what, Robbie? I was with you. I voted for Joe Byron. I'm not above admitting what I did, but I did it the same reason why Robbie did it, Biden 79, Trump 76. Yeah, but there's a difference between Trump and Biden, as in Trump is pretty cognizant, even though he's a psychopath. And Byron is fucking. He's a fucking potato. He's a fucking baked potato. I don't know. Trudeau got
my
me.
favorite Joe Biden clip so far is when he just muffles under his voice to the reporter. He's like, "You dumb motherfucker."
That shit is funny though, right? I feel like I don't want to go down this road. I told like fucking. I'm not gonna sit here. But so you were personally in support of the truckers honking and shit, and you thought it was a good reason.
I really wanted to go to do stuff, man. Like I wanted to. Canada has been under lock for like way too long, man. Like I think we're ditching. Well, everybody's ditching masks at the same time. It looks like, but now we're opening back up, man. The worst part, man, was watching hockey games again. Like all the American teams, they would have like fans in the stadium, and then they'd come to Canada, and then it would just be dead empty. And you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're right.
I wanted everything done, man. I wanted to go out,
Yeah, I think everybody's over it now, right? Like now that we're on the precipice of World War III, I think COVID's over, right?
Yeah, man. There's been some funny memes where
it's
like
Russia now.
All it took was Biden invading for everybody to forget about COVID. I've seen some funny memes about that, man. Like, yeah, it's funny, man. Like everybody was so COVID this, COVID that, and now it's all like shifted like right quick, right hard.
Yeah, New York City, there you couldn't walk if you walked down the street in the outdoors without a mask on. Someone would fucking want to like murder you in the fucking sidewalk. But like the day that they lifted the mask mandates and shit, like nobody had a mask on. Everybody was going about their business like it was okay.
Yeah,
it's just really interesting how people just sort of forget about that and how crazy that we were getting towards each other. I mean, now that we have World War III going on, of course.
It's weird how like I think it was just something where in the beginning, people, you know, they had their little division. They're like, oh, COVID this, COVID that. And then immediately, like, as it just progressed for like 2 years, I think you were just so like cemented in your side no matter what. It was so weird to watch online, man.
Yeah.
Like people were like, I didn't even want to go to stores anyways. It's like, dude, I don't care if you wanted to go to a store. I do. Like,
well, it was crazy when I heard that you guys couldn't buy art supplies and shit at one time. You guys weren't allowed to buy art supplies. And
dude,
I'm just
like you would go to the store and they would be like barred off, like certain sections just completely barred because like that wasn't essential, man.
Yeah,
they
non-essentials.
were weird. Yeah. It was very, very odd.
But you could buy weed and alcohol, right?
Oh, dude, you can get weed and alcohol delivered
to your front door, bitch. Dude, I agree.
You get mushrooms delivered in Canada, man. Like, I don't know if you guys do that down there much, but yeah, up here you get everything delivered, but you cannot buy art supplies for a while.
Yeah. A trucker honking is like the lighter side, like that is MLK in truck form. Peaceful protest. Listen, I'll stand by that shit though. Like honking is not burning down storefronts and burning down neighborhoods. I'm sorry. It's not. It's completely different. It's not the same. I don't care if you didn't get rest. Okay, that's what it's about. It's about causing fucking peaceful unrest and fucking to get your point across. Not fucking burning shit down and having politicians bail you out for it. Just like understand why it was a problem. Report accurately. What is that? The issue wasn't the honking. It was the downtown and economically shut down for a month. Fuck it. They fucking. But that's
we were shut down for a long time.
That was peaceful protest, though. I understand what you're saying, Holden. I do understand that it was a pain in the ass and businesses couldn't do business. But it is different from burning them down. It wasn't deemed peaceful. No, because why would it be deemed peaceful? It was going against their narrative. Well, sometimes you just got to watch the world burn at the cost of greedy corporate entities that play monopoly with the world. You know, and I can see a way for that too, Samo. I can. And by the way, welcome, Samo. But look, I'm pro-right to protest with a point. This was aimless as fuck. Really, ending mandates? Ending mandates, fucking when your country is 90% vaccinated and the truckers were 80% vaccinated and most of those people who were protesting were vaccinated fully and fucking and they were standing up for the rights of people who didn't want to put poison in their body. I'm sorry, it's not poison. Everybody go get vaccinated. I'm sorry. I take that back, YouTube. I take that back, Twitch. Go get vaccinated, but ask your doctor. My bad. That's not what I meant. Ha ha ha. It was a joke. It was a joke. Most of the people protesting weren't really there for the truckers. It was a separate issue. It got as big as get rid of Trudeau or we won't leave. Well, fuck Trudeau. Fuck him in the mouth. Who cares? Thank you for informing me of the whole situation. I'm just walking into this blindfolded. Sorry, Samo. This is meant to be a music thing, but it sort of went here, guys. You are 100%.
Dude, I think Holden still should have brought those amps and those speakers, man.
No.
And just made that lose the mandates or we leave, like some fucking song like lose weight motherfucker, something like that.
Yeah,
he would have had the most catchy hit and they would have been like, yo, who's that Holden guy up on stage there?
Okay, you're right, it's not black and white. There's probably more nuance to it and this world is missing nuance. So I'm bad. My bad. I don't, like you guys are Canadian, you guys know better than I wasn't there. All I saw was TikTok and all the news coverage and all this crazy shit that went on my end. So my bad. I don't mean to piss you guys off or anything. It's just what I saw was people honking and shutting shit down. And then compare that to fucking, but the extreme reaction to it, I think was another part that sort of it throws me off. Whereas when BLM was burning Montreal down, you had Trudeau fucking, kneeling with them. So what I just, I guess in my simple mind where I just disseminate stuff in the most simple-minded way that fucking, that there's a big difference between riots and fucking and honking and shutting down the local economy or whatever. You're not the only one. Delayed news reaction over here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like we get stuff. So it felt like foreign politics playing out in my country. Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I just want to
weird.
watch a hockey game, man. That was
I know. Look at
my support.
Enigmatic is just like, bro, can I just watch hockey? That's all.
I was like, yo, let me watch a hockey game. Let me go to a concert. I had fucking concert tickets canceled. I couldn't go to hockey games for the last like 2 years, pretty much. I've been an angry Canadian, man.
Yeah. Well,
I've been like, yo, let me just get that beer. Let me get those beer nuts. Let me fucking get in that cold arena, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just to me, mandating is something weird. You know, who is your team? Enigmatic? Who do you?
Dude, I've been a diehard New Jersey Devils fan for like,
Oh,
20 years.
Cartagena.
Dude, hockey podcast, we could do that. Oh god, I watch too much hockey. I watch. Oh, here's where we're gonna get hashtag canceled. I like Russian hockey, man. I love Russian hockey as well.
Oh, you're fucked now, bro. You're fucked.
Canceled. Boom.
How dare you? How dare you, sir? Fucking
It's
like
playoff
Russian
season,
teams.
man.
Yeah,
It's playoff season, and it's funny. They chopped the last like 16 games of the season. I don't know if it's because they knew this shit was coming. They're like, yo, let's go right to the fucking playoffs. Or I know they were canceling COVID games, but they're like, yo, right to the playoffs. No more regular season. Dude, Ovi is a great player. That guy's chasing greatness. I think he just passed Jaromir Jagr for third all-time goal scoring. That was some sick shit last night.
Who's the American WNBA player who's being held in Russia right now? Do you know, Robbie?
Over like the weed vapes and shit. I don't know her name, but yeah, and that's like over that dude with like the Russian league. My team has so many like Russians. Obviously, there's a few Finnish players, and the Finnish players and teams did a mass exodus of the league. Like the Finnish team dipped out for the playoffs. A lot of Finnish players just terminated their contracts.
Why?
And just absolutely left, dude. Because I think they're worried about getting like detained and stuff. But now my team, like their defense is weaker, and I'm kind of pissed.
So wait, the Finnish team walked out off the playoffs and just was like, fuck that. Because they didn't want to get captured by Russians? Is that what you're saying?
I think at that point it was just basically like, this happened, so we're gonna they invaded, so they're like, okay, we're not gonna do it. But then right after that chick got detained, man, like the next like 2 days, I woke up and I saw like this article, and then I was like, no, I was like, the Finnish players are leaving Avangard, why? And then I had to dig deep, man. They all terminated their fucking contracts.
Wow, that's wild, man. I mean, like, it's weird that that this whole new war distraction thing that's going on is fucking is affecting so much. I mean, I feel so bad for the NWA player that's locked up over there. She's not ASAP Rocky. So no one caring about. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, man.
She's not ASAP Rocky. That's funny.
She's not ASAP Rocky, so no one gives a fuck that this poor girl has been detained in Russia.
Yeah. Dude, and it's funny, man, like CCM, like big hockey company, they cut all their ties with their Russian athletes. Like they're the ones that are like invading. There's a really funny one with the Alexander Ovechkin when they keep asking him about the invasion. He's like, I am Russian. I don't know what I do. He's like, next question, please. And then they're like, so they're like, you don't seem like you're very remorseful about the invasion. He's like, it's not my problem. I'm not the one invading. Please let me play hockey. We're here for hockey questions.
Yeah.
Let me go on.
Yeah.
And then the next question is like, so is your family back in Russia? Well, he's like, please, next one.
Wow. I mean, but that's how it is. Like I had I can't remember, like Mikulski, he's a Russian streamer on Twitch, and I've been thinking about reaching out to him and seeing, but like I'm afraid to like have him on and have him like fucking talking. I don't know what his opinions are, but like asking a Russian who's in Russia right now their opinion on what's going on could land them like 15 years in fucking jail or in prison, right? These people who are protesting in Russia against the war, they're getting locked up in prison right now. They're fucking for years and years and years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like it's like, holy shit, man, like to think about that kind of tyranny, right? That like that and people don't think that shit can happen to them in like especially out here in the West, right? But look how quick they were ready to do that in fucking Canada when you had a few truckers disrupt the local economies and fuck shit up. And okay, it's Holden, all the stuff that Holden was saying, but look how close, and look how much they wanted to shut shit down, and then people think that shit can't happen here. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it can, and it can happen really quickly, and that's kind of part of the plan. Are you familiar with the World Economic Forum?
Dude, like during this whole process, my girlfriend has become like the most like I don't know, the largest advocate for all this. So I have been informed, well informed.
Carl Schwab and fucking his league of fucking world dominating fucking oligarchy fucking crazy fucks, dude. Like Trudeau, fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, fucking to all these different world leaders, all are sort of coming together under this fucking weird thing where they want to have us all on a what is that, the what is that called? It's related to the COVID passport, but we're gonna have like these goddamn, what is it? It's the digital currency, and then having these ways of controlling currency in a way where, like, if they don't think that you should buy a hamburger today because you're too fat, it's like, well, you can't use your fucking credits, for this. They're. I mean, it's all written there, and that's the crazy. I'm sounding clunky right now. I'm sorry, but
no, but that's like the Chinese like happy social
exactly.
Credit system they got right now.
What's that called? It's the social credit system. Yes, there it is. Yeah. The social credit system. This is stuff that they are writing down right now, and they're trying to implement. And it's just very interesting to me that this is sort of like, even Carl Schwab said that he wants to use the pandemic as a way to usher in a new era and a new way of living. And that's part of it. And that's fucking frightening, man. That's fucking, and what you see, what's happening to the US dollar right now, and how, this is the world's reserve, right? But the US dollar is fucking tanking, and we just passed another $1.5 trillion bill here, and they're just going to keep printing money to the point where it feels like they're trying to bottom out the economy so they can sort of introduce like a new form of currency. Now, listen, this might sound like conspiracies, and I don't necessarily believe this. This is just for fun, everybody. We're just having fun here. I'm not trying to say this is what's happening, okay? This is we're just having fun, folks. But it is really weird when they write all this shit down. Like, he's written books called, what was it? I just said it. What was it called? The USD will no longer be the only standard. Exactly, yeah. The world's going to turn into The Last of Us pretty freaking quick. No PlayStation exclusive. It for real. I stop. Cartagena.
Dude, as long as our dollar is, or whatever we start rolling with, our goats, our carrots, as long as they're on par with your carrots, I will be wildly happy, because our carrots are pretty bad compared to your carrots at the moment.
Well, they're not as bad as a ruble right now. I was just telling my coworker the other day, I was like, hey, you should probably look into buying rubles right now, because he's into crypto and trading currency. I was like, if you can, buy the ruble, because they're like less than a penny USD, and fucking China just opened up a line of credit with them, because China's been building their own sort of financial infrastructure now that, with all these sanctions going on. The sanctions, they're fucking, they cut them all off, but now China is working with them. And so the ruble's going to go up again. So why not profit off of wartime? Yeah. Like, it may be illegal. That's what I was saying to him. I was like, it might be illegal to buy rubles right now. You might not even be able to buy it. But I was like, I'm sure there's people out there who are just buying up all these assets, which is how the oligarchs sort of gotten their power anyway. It was like, the SSR. What was it? The USSR.
Yeah, dude, like contact your Russian babushka over there, man, and get her to like fucking dump some of your CAD into that fucking, in that money. Mail her over a watermelon stuff with cash or something.
Go get your tinfoil hat. I want to be prepared for all. Yeah, no, listen, I know this sounds crazy, but what's weird is that they have it all written out. And things are actually going in those sort of directions. So, like, is it a conspiracy when they blatantly admit and they write books about it, and their website clearly says exactly what they want to do? Is that a conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy that they have all these world leaders and BlackRock, the fucking, and fucking Pfizer, and all these different fucking corporations are all in this weird cabal that they all agree on this one thing where it's like social fucking credit control. I don't think it's a conspiracy anymore. I think they're just blatantly telling us what they feel and how and the direction that they want to take the world. And so I don't know. I hope I don't get canceled for that.
Dude, the one that was big was that they didn't think that we had all these like crazy pedophile systems throughout the world. They were like, y'all are crazy. And now it's like, yo, there's way too many pedophiles in the world. And we're like, we told you there's a lot of them.
Right. But this is the thing. And this is what's wild about like people like Alex Jones, who's been talking about this for like 20 some years. All right. Like 25 years, the dudes have been saying this exact shit. And yes, he's made some stupid remarks. He said some stupid things. He's lost his entire platform for it. Right. Exactly. And plus he's like wrong a lot. He is wrong a lot. But he's also right.
He might be right more in the future. Like, imagine you wake up like next Tuesday and the frogs are gay. That would be huge. That would be massive.
That was
you
actually
find that the frogs, they can't reproduce anymore because they're just all gay, and you're like, oh no,
the frogs were gay. Yes, that's what I was about to say. Holden, the frogs were actually gay. It was based on a fucking real thing.
Frogs gay?
Dude, did you see the video where he's in fucking October talking about the February invasion? Hold on. Before we go, because we gotta go soon, and I'm sorry that the last
gay frogs there.
There was gay frogs. There was a study. Hold on. Let me see. Alex Jones predicts Russian. Let's see if Google will even show it. And by the way, everybody, go and delete DuckDuckGo off of your phones now and your devices because they are now working with the deep state and they are starting to they're going to start burying misinformation, Russian misinformation.
What the fuck is DuckDuckGo?
It's a search engine that uses Google, but it's just a search engine that goes because I've found legit differences. Shut up, Reina. You don't know. Where's the video? I just want to see the video of him saying it. Where is he? Oh my God. He fucking there. Of course, Google's not going to let me fucking find it. God damn it. Alex Jones.
Dude, I never knew that the frogs actually came out gay. Wow.
Yeah. VPNs had your data to the government. Oh, is that right? It's like trust.
Yo, my search history is gonna be really weird after this, man. I'm gonna be looking up gay frogs left, right, and center.
Gay frogs and Russian fucking gay frogs, Russian gay frogs. Why you believe YouTube ad people? We're YouTube ad people.
And this is the most credible source you'll ever tune into, folks.
Right? Listen to me talk. The frogs are gay. Don't question me. Don't look it up. Don't look into it for yourself. Don't even try. Just listen to me, and that's it. That's it. That's all you do. Just just listen to me, everyone. Okay, hold on. I think this is it.
But we're looking at a giant war in February right now. Currently, that's the projections with the top people on the earth who claim they're not with the New World Order Combine. And I don't want a war, but we're looking at a giant war in February right now. Currently, that's the projections with the top people on the earth who claim they're not with the New World Order Combine. Is war in February. And this is the type of time, like right before World War I, right before World War II, when everything kicks off. And I hope that doesn't happen. But currently, that is the trajectory we're on.
So, listen, I'm not saying I'm a huge Alex Jones advocate, okay? Like, I've enjoyed Alex Jones over time, but obviously he's gotten a lot wrong. But I know a lot of people have predicted it. I know this has sort of been building up, and I know since America has put the puppet government in there with the fucking comedian fucking president and the fucking world champion boxer for the fucking as the mayor of fucking Kyiv, these people were placed in it, and you know, the Russian friendly regime was overthrown. We did a proxy war. America does this all the time. We do a proxy war. So yes, this was coming because we were encroaching on on Russia. And of course, when you're fucking in the corner and you're a wild animal like Putin, fucking, you're gonna fucking start swiping at motherfuckers. But yeah, I mean, it's been happening for a long time. But it's just very interesting that he predicted it in October. In February. I mean, they've been predicting it for years, but he's naming the month. It's very interesting. That's all.
If we made like a Venn diagram of all the people who like predicted this and knew that the frogs were gay, in the middle is Alex Jones. Yes, I'm finding a pattern here. This dude seems to be right more than I
think. The gay frogs, interdimensional pedophiles. So just to sort of wrap this all up, and because we got to end here soon, because I got to get the fuck out of here. But everybody, Obsolete has a new album out right now, and I'm gonna drop that in the chat for you guys so you can go and check it out. So kind of quickly, what made you want to take on the undertaking of a fucking underground hip hop label?
Damn, dude, just the love like that I can see when I'm going throughout these 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 songs, hundreds of albums, countless artists, that they're usually all tied back to a place that believes in what they're doing, a place that really wants to, achieve everything that they want to. And I don't see it as much of, like the commercialized labels. I don't see it that way. A lot of the time it's, you come in and there's a reason you're here, you're going to sell. And that's the only reason that we have you out. We don't even fuck with your music, stuff like that, man. But like to build that community within the underground hip hop community of your own, where it's like producers, engineers, rappers, that was always a big thing for us, man. Like we invested huge in a local rapper or a local producer's catalog. That was the first step, so that like, when we went to step forward to have our label, like we would have a huge catalog of beats, so that if we didn't have producers at the beginning, we would have 100, 200 beats that we could at least, fuck with and get you an album out there, like, pronto. And we've been fortunate enough along the way, man. Like we're still building, we're doing a lot, but we've been fortunate enough to find like our pillars for the success. We got two producers that they work, oh God, man, so well together. I think they're both 35, 34. Around there, man. They've both been producing for God knows how long. Steezy's an unbelievable guitar player. The Barber fucks with that West Coast stuff so hard. And he's in Germany, man. That's a lot of what we do. We've really spread out at what we do. Steezy's really local to me. He's about like 10 minutes away.
Oh, nice.
And then we got like an engineer. We got Hermione. He's amazing, man. Mm-hmm. We got Apollo. Apollo's a really, big part of what we do. Same with Trusk, Obsolete. Yeah. I could go on naming all the things, man, but yeah. Like it was just really trying to grab that dynamic like really, really hard about like we got this underground community that you can really come over and you can see like what we're doing. There's gonna be collabs, within everybody's work. I like that team aspect, man. Everything I do reverts back to the fact I've been playing hockey since I was fucking 4. Like everything I do in life is a team aspect. I don't fuck with solo a lot, man. Like I don't rap solo. There might be a verse out there or two, but it's still under Immortal Being. Everything I do is a team mentality, and that was a huge thing stepping into it, to see that there was no need to have like 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in the bank to really grab a community that we could make a kind of little splash with, man. And we're going to keep growing and growing, and then we're going to tackle more and more. I was a defenseman in hockey, got too many concussions. I was like, let's be a goalie. There's not many there. Then they changed up the style to like crash the net hard. Then I got more concussions as a goalie, and I had to stop.
Then I had to stop. Robbie, you gotta have Enigmatic on it. I mean, you guys are probably gonna sit there and circle jerk for like 3 hours. It'll be amazing.
Does this guy have a sports podcast?
Yeah, Robbie has. In fact, Robbie, let's shout out Robbie because we can shout people out now.
That would be endless. Oh my Jesus, man!
And ho.
The hockey, that would be fun. I would enjoy a hockey podcast. I've never been on one, but
it's not a hockey podcast. I think it's like a
sports in general, man. I got a lot of useless sports knowledge. I'm always reading the sports news every day. 6 years,
Robbie. Damn, that's tight, brother. 6 years.
That's sick.
We've been doing podcasts about the same amount of time. Robbie, that's amazing.
All DC sportsmen. Oh man. Yo, then you definitely enjoyed those quarantine era, man. Washington, New Jersey. Washington swept New Jersey 8 games straight. Jesus Murphy, that was a horrible season. It was bad to watch, man. This guy's watching in DC like, woo! Those were good games. I love those ones.
Sweet. Behind that suit. Grinders. We're grinders. That's why, you guys. All right, guys. We have to get going. Let's thank our guest, Enigmatic. Thank you so much, my friend. I really, really appreciate you coming on the show. I've been enjoying talking to your artists and that are on your label, and it's been a joy talking to you with all with your. I just love that you're just down and you're just going with it. So I appreciate that. I know we got a little off rails and in the weeds, but I appreciate you sticking through it with us. But
all right, man, it's a blast. That's what it's about.
Hell yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to Obsolete, who's coming up, in the next couple weeks. You guys know, get in the Discord. Now that I can actually put the Discord in here.
Dude, now that I know there's a Discord, I'll be in there.
Come and get some. All right, guys. I'm just going to end. I love you guys. Cartagena, Robbie, thank you so much. Mighty. Hold on, I got to get Mighty.
Go Devils. Go Devils. Woo-hoo.
Go Devils. Samo, thank you so much. Z, thank you so much for stopping in. And Ho-Ho, tell Bon I said hi. Oh, we're going to raid this person. So,
Ho-Ho.
All right, guys. Much love. Get your raid calls. I have to go pee and go to work and do a bunch of shit. So I love you guys. And
see you, man.
I'll see y'all later.
Enjoy your day, dude.
All right, man. Peace.
Lose weight.
Lose weight. Stop. I have been losing weight, actually.
That's such a good song. Number one.
It is. It is a good song. All right, brother. I'll see you later. Peace. All right, guys. Oh, we're rating. All right. I didn't do that.